Yo, what's going on? It's Monday. I am your co-host, Kev, aka Buckeye City Soul. Today we have a great show for you. You'll notice that we don't have Marcus on the panel today, and a lot of you guys know one of our usual suspects is no longer with us. Shout out to D-Lo. You were greatly missed, it's hard to take that loss, but we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna progress and do this show. Definitely appreciate everybody doing the hashtag. We'll talk a little bit more about that at the end of the show. um but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pass it on to Nicole. She didn't have time to lace her hair up today, um but we're gonna work through it. We love you, D-Lo. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. They're saying they can't hear you guys. All right. They can only hear me. All right, hold on. Give me 1 second here. Hold on.
No sound. We can only hear Kev. Perfect. Hey, Dominican Coquille, your pictures suck.
He might be able to hear you. I hear
something.
Yeah, it's loud now. It's good now.
Did you hear that?
Hey, can you got? Hold up.
You heard that? You heard that?
Nah, they said we only hear Kev.
Hold on. They only hear you?
No, they only hear you.
Yo, what's good, y'all?
Can't hear anyone but Kev. Okay.
Can't hear anybody but me. All right. Well, I guess it's my show.
Hey, it's
I was about to say, should I sit here and just chill out?
All right. Give me 1 second. Actually, hold on. I think I might know what's going on.
Oh, we can hear Mo now. We can hear you now.
Hear me?
Oh, damn.
Y'all hear me? Here?
Hey, Marcus, if you can really hear me, I'm gonna tell you how I really feel about
Hey,
this.
they hear us now? Okay. All right, we're good.
I mean,
Can't run it back, dog.
You missed.
All right.
They heard. I mean,
Do we still want to do?
all right, y'all. What I said, pass it to Rican Power Girl. Go ahead. They heard what I.
Hi, this is Nicole going for the sun.
¿Cómo está todo el mundo?
At least it's not
Rican
showing
Power
me.
Girl. Co-owner for the society, and I'll pass it on to Molly.
Just like that. Yeah, it's Molly Moore here, better known as Molly Moore. If you know, you know. That one's for D-Lo. Leader of the Light Skin Legion, usual suspects. Welcome to another great episode of the Monday Midsole. Ready to kick it off. First, I'm going to pass it off to Mo.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mo. We're gonna run this back again. Unfortunately, as Kev mentioned earlier, one of our usual suspects is no longer here with us, Miss D-Lo, who'll be very much missed. So before we introduce our special guest, let's bow our heads, have a moment of silence in her honor, please. Okay. And with that, we are going to jump right into it. As I said before, we have a very special guest. I'm going to kick it over to Mr. BK to AZ. Lou, what's going on, man?
What's going on, man? Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, our pleasure. Definitely should have had you on a while ago, but unfortunately Marcus blocked it. So You know, it is what it is. But
It's all good. It's all good.
Shout out to
before-
Flashy Flash. Appreciate that, bro.
Damn, Flashy got them deep pockets. So before we get into the interview, why don't you kind of introduce yourself real quick to the chat? For those who don't know you, give them a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump right into it.
All right, so BK to AZ Kicks. This is my handle. Lou, they call me Lou. Originally from Brooklyn, New York. I live in Arizona now, and yeah, pretty much. And then I do a little photography thing. You know what I mean?
And we gonna
Some of
definitely
y'all know me. Some of y'all don't. BK to AZ Kicks. Give your boy a follow.
I'm sure they're following you. We're gonna get into the photography. Definitely some questions geared around that. So let's just jump right into it. The question that we always kick it off with is, what's the pair that first got you into collecting?
Well, it was definitely the Jordans, and the pair that really like set it off for me was because I had a friend that he used to get everything back then, and you know, I didn't fit his shoe size, but I still envied him. You know, I was like, man, you know. So what set it off for me was, you know, of course, J's, and then the first time I ever put Air Force Ones on my feet, it was just a wrap after that. You know what I mean? They just went with everything, and I just ran with it. And so the Air Force One shoe was definitely just that shoe that just represents everything about me and the culture and how I grew up.
Which leads into my next question. So, unlike most people's pages, you know, you got people who are, a lot of us are heavy Jordan, a lot of people are heavy Air Max. Your page is heavy Air Force Ones. So, what is it about that shoe that stood out for you, and what made you decide to cater your page to that particular shoe versus transcending with what everybody else is doing?
Well, wow. Well, there's so many. What gravitated me was back then, you know, Jordan had certain silhouettes, like, you know, a Jordan 1 would come out, Jordan 2 would come out, but it was never the way it is now. It was never like all these colorways and all these releases. It was like, you know, here and there a Jordan would pop out. And with the Air Force Ones, it was just like such a mix of colors, and you know, then you had your Year of the Horse, your mix, it was just so much more than the Jordan shoe was back then. So I just, when I, you know, like I said, when I put that shoe on, it was just over, you know. And I didn't know nothing about Instagram. I started late. My wife had it, and she told me to get it. And then one day I just loaded the app just to see old friends. And then I came across all these pages, like, just like, you know, I was like, it looked like a magazine. So I was like, man, how these guys do that? So I was like, man, I got the shoes upstairs, you know, like, how the hell? So, you know, I kept on following, like, pretty much all you guys. I started following PR Sneaks and Andy D. I just started following so many people. And then one day I said, man, I really want to get into this. So I hit up Soul Versus and PR Sneaks at the time. And I didn't think they were going to get back to me because there was, you know, the big accounts.
Right.
So I'm like, man, these guys are going to get back to me. And so Soul Versus got back to me, and we were chopping it up, and I was asking him how you do it. And it just so happens my sister-in-law had left a camera behind, a T5i, and it was sitting in my son's room forever. And one day I picked it up, and I told my sister, I said, hey, can I borrow this? She said, yeah, sure, no problem, borrow it. And I hit up Cito and I said, hey, is this the camera that you use? And he goes, yep, that'll work. So man, the rest is history after that, man.
And then from there, the page was born.
And and it's just like I had the shoes, so I was like, man, I gotta show this, you know. So to me, it was Air Force Ones all day. Air Force One, gang.
So let me ask you this: so how long have you had? And you touched on this. How long have you had your Instagram page? And being somebody that's very much into editing and photography, how have you seen pictures change from when you first had your account to how they look now?
Well, the photography stuff about it, like it was just like, you know, like I said, it was just I stumbled on it by accident. I had the love for the shoes, and then I started learning the camera. When I first started, it was just pretty much just to get the shoe out there in a nice quality, but then I started seeing all this other stuff, all these accounts like just going crazy, like, you know, Molly with the, even, you know, like all you guys, like each of you guys, like when it came to Molly, One-Legged, Lister, like when it came out to Buckeye, like, all you guys inspired me in such a way that I was just like, man, I gotta incorporate all of this. Like, how, you know? So as far as the photography game and IG, it's changed a lot. It's changed quite a bit. I mean, I only been on IG for about, man, I want to say maybe 6 years.
Changed for the better or the worse?
I think, you know what, I think it changed for the worse. I like, you know, that the whole hashtag, like, make IG great again. I believe in that. Like let's do that. You know what I mean? I feel like IG has total control of our accounts. You know, and then that's just the bottom line to me. I feel like they just straight up have control,
right?
And they figured out a way to control us. So the love ain't there no more. You know how it was. It's just changed so much. Everybody's just throwing pictures up there, like what? Like, I mean, it's just like it's crazy. You know what? If that's what you want to do, that's fine. You know, like, by all means, you want to take 50 shots a day and throw 50 shots up, go ahead. That's you. But at the end of the day, photography, this is a craft for me, and this is art for me. So what
do you look for? So let me, what do you look for in a picture that says this is deserving of a legitimate like? What do you look for in a picture? The editing, the background, like what realistically gets a like from you? Because I mean, Lord knows we all like stuff that we don't really think is good.
Yeah, correct. To me, it's a total package. When I see a shot, I know the person took time. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a given. When I see a shot, I look at everything, and I might even zoom in every now and then. Well, that's just me.
Okay.
But when I see the shot, I see the whole shot. I don't just see the shoe. You know what I'm saying? I see everything behind the shoe. You know, so it's everything. It's the whole combination of the background,
right?
Matching it, your stance, everything. I mean, just everything. So it's the picture as a whole.
Okay, not just the right. And I'm gonna tell you now, Dominican Koki is saying that you helped him out with some of his picture taking, which is probably a slap in the face to you because his pictures ain't that great. So he might want to leave your name out his mouth. Nah. L, you know I'm messing with you. I love L. You know, he definitely stepped up his pictures because he'll tell you, like, on the show, I was like, I ain't picking your pictures for hashtag here because you cutting that toe. You cut that toe, it's a wrap. So, so tell us a little bit about, I know, me and you talk all the time. Tell the people about, with the exception, aside from doing the on-feet pictures, how are you utilizing photography in your personal? What you got going on with that?
Okay, so once I started learning the camera and learning like everything, I wouldn't say everything because I'm still learning. But once I got pretty much good enough to know that, like, all right, like I told myself I was good. So I didn't need someone else to tell me that I was good. Excuse me.
Okay.
So once that happened, and I was good enough, told myself I was good enough, I said, you know what, I'm gonna take my talent somewhere else and see if I can shoot people. And I shot some family photos, some kids, so I kept, and then I was like, wow, I can really do this, because I put up the pictures and I'm like, man, they're pretty good, and I just ran with it, and I just kept on shooting, and practice with my family, and I would practice by myself. I mean, I wanted to learn everything about the camera, and I just kept on, and I'm still doing gigs. Like I'm doing a lot of stuff right now behind, like, the whole, like, sneakers is amazing, but I do a lot. Like, if you see, I have a website, LA Photography, and it's under construction. I'm working on it, but I have a lot of stuff that I've done, and I had people, Rothenberg, my boy, Rock Don't Stock, Big D, that's my boy, you know what I'm saying? And he trusted me with his wedding as a second photographer, and it was like things like that I had to step out my comfort zone and say, you know what, if you don't try or do it, then you ain't never gonna know if you could do it. So I put myself out there. I get nervous with every shoot, but I'm so familiar. I know the camera so well that it doesn't bother me anymore.
Right.
So pretty confident when it comes to going to shoot something. A family photo, whatever it is, paternity, whatever.
So there's a question, and Kev, I appreciate you pinning that. I did see it, and that was a good question. So Point Dexter asked, actually I need to pull it, pause. I need to expand it a little bit. Actually, can you unpin it so I can, basically, Point Dexter asked, thanks, in regards to, how much time and how much time do you put into editing your photos? And I'm going to speak a little bit on this, and then I'm going to let him take this over. So a lot of us, let's be realistic, most of us just take pictures. Well, I shouldn't say us, because I don't do it. Most of y'all take pictures with your phone or the camera, and then you just post it. You don't use any software to edit it, right? And so I know Lou's not posting every day. He might post maybe once, twice a week, something like that, because he's taking the time to edit on his computer. He's not even doing it on the phone. He's doing it on his computer. So he's got access to more features to, clean up the shots, everything else. So I don't know if there's a specific time, if you want to speak to the time, but I know he puts a lot of time and effort into the editing. Point Dexter, I spoke for him. You good, Lou?
Yeah. I do.
You good, because I already know. So I just got a couple more questions, and then we can go wrap up this 15. Are you
really just answer the question for him?
Yeah, I
did.
Yeah, I'm good. I mean, Lou, if I misspoke,
I mean, the question ain't for you. You don't do it.
We're trying to get a free photo shoot.
I'm his representative. I will be
listen, Lou already know. I've sent Lou pictures. I'm like, yo, Lou, you got time to edit this? He'll be like, yeah. And then I'm like, oh shit. Then I'm like, yo, let me give you the credit. And Lou be like, nah, don't worry about it. But
I never, me, I don't never want the credit. I'm good.
That's okay. I don't mind keeping the credit and acting like I really know how to shoot. But are you still doing I know at one point you were doing you were doing the classes, trying to teach people how to edit and use the camera. Are you still doing that?
I'm still doing that. Yes.
Okay. So y'all hear this man. If y'all trying to get better with your camera, your editing and all that, hit this man up. He's got classes. He's taking time out of his schedule. It'll definitely make a big difference. I mean, it'll make a big difference. So I'm just putting that out there now. And yeah.
How do you get enrolled?
Yeah, if somebody wants to take the class, Lou, what you got to do?
You just So you just hit my DM. It's $25 for an hour.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's a one-on-one, so I'm not talking to multiple people at once because everyone's different. You know what I mean? Some people might be better at the camera or know the camera already, and they just want to know, like, just going straight to Lightroom. Because I do all my classes in Lightroom. So it's a one-on-one class for an hour, and I pretty much go over everything. But of course, you're not going to learn everything in one session, so it's going to be multiple sessions. And but yeah, I mean, but in that one session, you're gonna take in a lot. So
do you do both? Like if they're taking a picture on the phone and also on camera, do you guide them through both?
I can.
Okay.
I can. Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can do both.
Unless you got that StarTech phone.
Yeah. There's been times when Jody sent me some, and I'm like, "Where'd you take this at?" She was like, "Oh, I took this with my phone," and I'm like, "Really?" Because it looks like
yes, camera.
So, but yes, but it's pretty easy to maneuver all that.
All right. So I got one last question for you. What's some advice that you would give to, besides taking your class? What's some advice that you would give to somebody who legitimately wants to, get better with their craft as far as utilizing the camera, the editing? What would you say to them?
I would say just keep shooting. Like learn your camera. Just learn it. Whatever it is, whatever camera it is, just learn it. There's plenty of YouTube videos. Plenty. Like, I mean, you want to know something, you want to learn the photography talk, the whole, like, the lingo of it, is there for you. You know what I'm saying? And just keep shooting, keep shooting, and just really, really learn your camera. Because I feel like if you learn your camera and everything and all the whole lingo and just, you see, knowing and learn, like, I feel like this. If you understand your camera, not just know your camera, but if you understand it, then it becomes a whole nother world. Because it's like, oh, okay, that's what that means, or that's what this is. You know what I'm saying? So once you understand the camera, you're good. Like, it's because everybody knows what's aperture or what's depth of field, what's, everyone knows that like Marley knows that. But when you understand what those things do, it's a whole nother level.
Y'all hear that, people? Basically, he's saying take his damn class and come off that $25.
You got stimulus money.
I mean, that's all I had. I mean, do y'all got any questions?
One real quick. So I mean, you're taking the pictures and you like went into like people. So like, what's next for you? Like, what's the next goal?
Well, right now, I have a wedding book for October. It's booked already. Getting into more of fashion photography. I did a couple cars. I'm doing a Tesla in the next couple weeks. For Tesla, a Tesla ad. So I'm excited about that.
Oh, dope, nice. Damn. Nice.
So I'm just trying to stay busy and really trying to learn everything about it, like the whole studio, lighting, like the different lightings and filters, and getting into even like I've been doing a lot of homework on shooting with my flash, and so even been learning all of that. So it's been a lot to take in, but I've been busy, so I just upgraded. I just sold my camera yesterday, as a matter of fact. So I was shooting, for people that wanted to know, I was shooting with a T6i this whole time. And a lot of people think, they were like, no, that's not a T6i. And I'm like, well, you know what? A T6i is not a bad of a camera. It's 24.2 megapixels. It's not a bad camera. You know, but I upgraded. I go pick up my camera, I think tomorrow or the next day. So I got the RP full frame mirrorless. So I'm excited. So I can't wait to get it. It's on. Stay tuned. It's on.
That sound expensive. Mirrorless.
Right.
Said, stimulus check is gone. And some.
So Lou, before we close out real quick, if you have one or two like words that would describe like how can we identify your pictures against other pictures, how would you best describe that?
Better than others. Next.
You know, I'm really big, really big on quality. I'm big on quality and detail. You know, in my shots. So whenever you see my shots, like I want you to zoom in. Like I want you to, you know, the lace locks where it says Air Force Ones, or if the shoelace has some on the like any little details, I want to capture that in the shoe. So quality and detail is me right there. Like
Okay.
I love, you know, it has to be quality. If it's not quality, I'm not putting it out.
That's what's up.
Okay.
All right, so that's it. We're gonna go to the let's go to what's up next.
I saw you in the box. What was in the box?
Because I envy your normal
What's in the
life.
box?
Down, David.
It seems that envy is my sin.
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Sponsored by Footage Society and Unbox app. Make sure you guys go ahead and download that and get your kicks clean and all that good stuff. Anybody want to show any releases before I go into any pickups before I go into releases? Anybody got anything new?
I can make it quick.
Go ahead.
All right, let's go. Lightning round. Royal Toast. Boom.
What are those?
Same.
Okay. Blazers. Boom.
Hey, to the
Hey,
Blue?
You got the Ghost Dad joints.
And for Marcus, let's get a close up right there.
Oh.
Right there. There we go. Okay.
Damn.
I'm sorry. Before I pull the shoe away, right there, Marcus. Right there. I got it. All right.
Just dropped it on his forehead.
But he did get the flints though. So
Ooh,
Well, you got to steal my shine.
sorry.
And I had the moment.
I know he would want me to say that.
He probably would. Yeah.
I felt that. So
Shut up, yo. Shut up.
That's all we got.
I did cop a LeBron.
A what?
Oh.
Try to hoop in.
A what?
They were $100.
Where you hooping?
Nice.
Wheelchair league?
Out front, nigga.
You gotta keep 6 feet.
I'm hooping by myself.
Could
no,
have got a pair of beaters for that.
I gotta
Any
man,
performance
hey,
to take jump shots.
when you a big man, man, you need to have comfort. You don't know nothing about that. All right, so let me go into let's talk about the
Hold up, Maul. Did you have anything?
Yeah, hold up. I got
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh.
there you have it.
All
All right,
right,
so I'm gonna
cool.
rush through this week. With the COVID thing, the releases have been few and far between. Anything that you really talk about, but this week, May 20th, we got the purple metallic Air Jordan 4s for $190. It's a pass for me. I don't know if anybody else on them. No.
No,
right.
baby.
All right. Next up, we got the Adapt Automax Pure Platinum for $400.
Sheesh.
May 20th, 10 o'clock in the morning. Get your dollars right.
See the way my bank account works.
Yeah, the only pair that I would get if they do a Air Max style. If they do that, then I probably grab a pair of these. But this colorway is not for $400. And then May 21st, we have the Dunk Low Brazil for $100. That might be a pickup.
Yeah, those are nice.
Oh yeah.
That might be a pickup. You know,
If you get your hands on it.
exactly.
Yeah, it's not happening, bro.
It's an
Sneakers
attempt.
don't love me.
Sneakers
Don't love me.
really acting.
Mm-hmm.
Sneakers gave me the block right away.
Yeah.
Man, they've been acting like your ex's boyfriend.
Y'all going for them SBs, Ben and Jerry's?
Yeah.
Going for it and probably will not get it.
Oh, I'm gonna lose, but I'm gonna try. You know,
But you gotta try. Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot. You know, take a shot at it. You know, stranger things have happened. Then we got the Nike Air Foamposite Ones, Blue Void, University Gold, Rugged Orange. You know, this is a release for Pain 82. Not for me. I mean, I do have the Nick phones, but I don't ever wear those. I think I'm
Foamed out.
I might be done. I don't know. And then next we got a one for Maul. We got the men's Nike Kyrie 6, Midnight Navy Laser Crimson Psychic Blue. Let's see, how low are these gonna get? They're gonna be 82.50. They're gonna get to 80. They're gonna get to 82.50.
I'm good on the sixes, bro. I went so crazy in the beginning. I don't need any more. It's got to be a really dope release for me to actually get excited about a K6 right now.
I feel that. They ain't playing now either.
Bro, I got like 20 pairs already.
I got the one pair. I got the Kobe one, and then so I'm done. But then last but certainly least, we've got the men's Nike PG4 black, university red and white for $110. Famous footwear.
I'm disappointed how they did PG. PG line in the beginning was actually pretty exciting. Them shit's been super trash lately.
Yeah.
For a while.
They are not good.
No.
But that's what you got this week. So now we're gonna get right into topics.
Topics. Get the coffee makers hit.
Topics. First topic we have today is it was an article in the Hype Bay. The Common Ace is going to be a platform for female sneakerheads to engage in, you know, and get away from the stuff that they've been dealing with, but not being able to get their own shoes. It creates a one-stop shop for females to go and secure their pairs. But I'm not exactly sure on the exact specifics of it, but who wants to go ahead and enlighten us?
Well, you pretty
Nicole?
much wrapped it up. Yeah, you pretty much wrapped it up. So it's a website. It's two females. They met about a year ago, which I think is actually phenomenal, right? Because it's like you meet and then you build something on the platform that they did. And they both are, one is into fashion and tech, and the other one already is into, has her own business. She's more like an illustrator and designer. So she's worked, like, her resume is crazy. She's worked with Adidas, streetwear. She has worked with different cameras, watches. I mean, she's worked with a lot of lines. But yeah, so they got together, they met, they discussed what their dreams were or the things that they wanted to do within the sneaker community. Also talked about some of the frustrations about not being able to find certain things. So now they basically created this site where it's a hub, basically, and they are linking it. They're linking, it's more like a one-stop shop. And so they're working with like Sakai, they're working with Kev, they just working with a whole bunch of different already established businesses. And basically you just search the shoe and they basically let you know, okay, this is where it's located. Somewhat of the same concept, I wouldn't say somewhat of the same concept, but kind of like what StockX does, that they have a whole bunch of different providers and you just go to one platform, but they're doing that on a level with other retail stores. And so that kind of makes it cool. And it's not just, it's more of a fashion, it's not just like Jordans and hype and things of that nature. So it's more about streetwear sneakers. But yeah, so there's been like studies about, they just actually launched it, what was it, the 15th?
Yeah.
Which was crazy because the page on IG was established in 2016.
Yeah, it takes
but
a
they
long
met.
time.
But they met a year ago.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if one of them already had
Could've
some
been.
of the idea
Right.
flowing.
Yeah. I mean, the page could have been old, and they might have just.
Yeah, just kind of. But I mean, the IG page is pretty dope. Like they're representing a lot of different females, a lot of different streetwears. Yeah. So that's pretty much what it is. So we'll see how it goes. I was playing around with it. I signed up. I joined their mailing list so that I could just get notifications. Hopefully they'll have an event, but it seems pretty dope.
So let me.
So one of the things, real quick though, Mo, one of the things that they talked about, or there was actually a report that was done, and they were saying how the female, which it's known that we spend more money, but now they have seen such a big growth in fashion. We'll spend more money in fashion.
Okay, I was
about to be like,
hold up, yeah.
Sneakers?
Because I'm about to say, we ain't talking resale now.
Well, no, in sneakers, they also are talking about it also in sneakers. Now that a lot of brands are linking and doing collaborations with Rihanna, with all of these other famous people, and so it has now grown the industry for females.
But is that retail dollars or is that resell? Because retail may, like, and
No,
that's what I read
retail.
the thing.
Retail.
Okay, right. Because I was reading that and I was like, I don't think that's true. If
Yeah,
it's
but then-
retail, yes.
but then-
I don't resell now.
Yeah, and then you could go to the actual report, and that goes into a little bit more detail.
I think it's the percentage that the increase in percentages is greater than men's. I don't know if it's the total number that they're talking about, but like the way that I read it was that, all right, we had this increase in females, buying sneakers and streetwear, compared to guys. So say if the guys is marginalized, if it's on the same playing field, or people are already buying at a high level, then there are increasing more women coming in to the culture.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right.
Like you said,
If you're trying to capture and expand on market share, you definitely want to get the female dollar in there.
Right, for
Right.
sure.
right.
Like
So-
like Kev said, it's pretty stagnant as far as like male consumer dollars.
Right.
You can then get that female, just like if you think of politics, right? Everyone's trying to get the black vote, trying to get that female consumer in that particular genre, then that's only gonna expand your scale.
Exactly.
So let me play devil's advocate here just a little bit. So, I'm being
What
serious,
about
but,
us?
And that's what I'm saying. Like, and I'm sure that the ladies like, oh, this is great, and I get that. But how would y'all feel if it was just a men only site? And granted, I get it that
So the
men
reason-
typically dominate, but would it be frowned upon if it was just okay? Well, we're just not going to do anything with
Yeah.
small guys. We're just going to do men.
I mean, it's just like having the NAACP, and then you know what I'm saying. If you have another group, then it ends up being the supremacist group. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, so
Right.
I think that that's the way you kind of have to look at it.
Well, I think it's established. I mean, there's a demand for a platform like this because,
Oh, of course.
right? So I don't
I agree.
necessarily think that the demand was there so much for men because you guys didn't encounter as many issues as we were encountering. So that's what actually created that level of demand. So it's not necessarily, that's kind of like when we talk about Black Lives Matters, and then it's like, no, all life matters.
Right.
So we're gonna go back and forth, when.
Right.
Right.
So for
Right.
me, it's just women. This is a women-based business, for women, which is also dope as well. And they're bringing a more artistic aspect to it. So I do feel like
I
the
agree.
platform. I feel like the platform called for level of demand. I don't know if this is the answer for it, but I love the fact that they're actually moving forward and saying, hey, let's do something. And I mean, there might be guys going on that site and buying stuff for them.
There is.
Cool.
Oh yeah, of course.
Listen, there's gonna be resellers on there.
Oh yeah.
You
Sure.
know what I'm saying?
I mean,
So
like,
like
how
men
do
are gonna still cop, it ain't gonna make a difference. But overall, like I don't have an issue with that.
Yeah. My wife is gonna wear a size 12 in men's.
Right. Well, it's kind of just what Nicole said, which is pretty much gonna be my argument, right? Like, yeah, Black Lives Matter. Like, when you have a group that is the majority,
Right.
you can't be mad at the subsets that create a platform that's exclusively for them, right?
Right.
Equalizes.
They wouldn't have to do
Right.
it
If it was even.
that wasn't
Right.
necessary, right? It
Right.
calls for it. There's an area, there's a niche, there's a need, so it's being fulfilled. If you think of like any corporate environment, there are women's network groups and things of that nature. That's just the way that it is, right? Black professional networks, because it is a minority. Exactly.
Right.
Brown, I got you, girl. Because that is a minority and a subset, so to speak. You know, you feel that niche, you feel that gap, right?
No,
so
I agree.
I'm all for it. I wish you nothing but luck, nothing but success. Yeah, man, I think that's awesome.
Lou, what do you think, man? You got any?
I think that's great. I think it's a great platform, really. Nicole touched on it really well, and I think it's amazing. I think they like Molly said, there's a calling for it, it's a niche, and they targeted and they did it. So that's good. Good for them.
Yeah, it takes a long time when you actually come up with an idea, right? But when you actually execute it,
right,
everything in between it's a lot of work.
Oh,
you know, and a lot of people fall short, right? Because they get tired of the fight, they get tired of the work, they gotta self-motivate themselves, so on and so forth. So
I mean, look at your shop.
Yeah,
I mean, you got a shop.
Yeah. So, you know, just going through that aspect, it's a lot of work, and so for that alone, I congratulate them.
That's dope.
Okay.
All right, let's go to the next one. The Last Dance. We saw the end of our Sunday night special.
I'm so damn sad.
So am I. I'm hurting.
But
it was about what, like 10:30, and he was getting ready to throw out that last shot. I'm like, no!
Right?
Yeah, I was like, oh, God, man.
Don't do it. I was like, damn, I hope he missed.
You know, the crazy thing is, after watching this, even beforehand, just hearing some of the stories before and just saying like Michael Jordan is the greatest, and just watching this every time I was dying when he was like, oh yeah, Karl Malone, he got the MVP. All right, I'm about to cook this team, just because just watching that his mentality of how he approached the game just made me appreciate him that much more. Like, I didn't look at him and say, oh, this guy's an asshole, because he even said it himself before it came out. People are gonna look at me and think I'm an asshole, and it's just that man was just determined to win. You know, he was determined to push his teammates. I mean, we may not agree with how he did it, like making Horace Grant not eat dinner on the plane, but at the end of the day, I mean, I had that much more respect for the man, and he was just a beast. Right. So I'm sad. I am.
I think it made him more of a human. Like, it allowed you to connect with him as like on a man's level, because you know, as a kid you grow up, you look at him like he's this god. He can do things that, you know, nobody else can do. But then you see, you know, this dude is super petty. You know what I'm saying? His competitiveness just kind of, you know, it's a product of that. And you know what I'm saying? And you did see, you know, emotion from him. Like, I mean, you all see him crying and everything like that, but that also adds another layer to, you know, him being a human. And then, you know, you got to see like things where he didn't look so cool. He's sitting back there dancing to the thing, like, what is this nigga doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But that was cool though. It was cool. Yeah, it was cool to see the flaws, because it just made him more, you know what I'm saying? Like the dude, you know? So, you know, there was parts that I was like, yo, I don't like when people yelling at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't react well to that. Like, if you have a problem with me, we can talk about it, and then, you know, I have no problem listening to what you have to say. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think I would have worked well with Michael, you know, had I been, you know, a pro athlete, because I'd have been like, yo, I've been like Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. But you know what I'm saying? But I thought it was dope. I look forward. They're gonna play Game 6. Was it Wednesday? I think they're gonna play Game 6 in its entirety, and they're gonna have like little clips in there from the actual, you know, time frame and everything like that. So I think that's Wednesday.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
Somebody tagged me in it today, and I apologize, I don't remember right offhand, but yeah, so I think that's coming soon, and yeah, I just think it was dope. I look forward to it. Hopefully they do more of these, you know.
Yeah, man. Real quick, and I what was it? He was listening to Kenny Lattimore, right? Is that who you mentioned?
This ain't
Did
even
you
out
hear
yet.
that? Did you hear that his streams last night went up? I think they said 1 million streams of his music last night, just because he mentioned them.
Yeah, people.
I said that's crazy. I was like, damn.
It ain't even out yet.
You know what I wonder though? Like, you know, they talked about like the the 13 PE low, or you know, what people were talking about it kind of off of the show, but he was wearing it in the show. But it looks like the high. But they did have a 13 playoff low that came out, and I wonder if people caught wind of that. It was a 13. It was a playoff.
Dude, my sneakers are so bad. Like my sneakers app, it wouldn't even let me into that joint.
Yeah,
the
mine,
Unite.
Mine.
So I clicked on the joint. It's like, nah, you need the app. I'm like, but I'm on the app.
Right.
Oh, damn.
I'm like, sneakers, you really hate me, huh?
I wonder how many more new sneakerheads is gonna come out of this series.
Oh, a lot. I mean, you saw the price of shoes, you know, kind of skyrocket, went up considerably. There's a whole new admiration. Kids who didn't know now know. Those who thought they know more. And those who know just you feel gratification, right? You know, Mike went into it thinking, oh, people are gonna think I'm an asshole, worried about his image. Listen, I like Mike even more now. Like nothing of what I saw changed my perception, my opinion. A lot of the shit I already knew. I knew he was an asshole. That's why I liked him. I'm an asshole. Like, wipe me down. Like, it is what it is. Like, I the commentary, just getting that raw emotion, and him getting the iPad. I'm like, like, it's like, still like I'll still beat your ass. Like, the pettiness is at an all-time high.
It was great.
It exceeds levels of any sort of normalcy. It's awesome. That's debatable.
I want to go back and see.
Lou's like, yeah, he a snitch.
He's an alcoholic.
No, he a snitch. He got them 6'9" eyes.
He ain't snitched last night. He ain't snitched last night though. Last night he was good. No, I said I want to put down a list of everybody who we thought was better than him, and he wanted cooking them. You got Dan Barley, Clyde.
Yo, there's a meme out there where it's, you know, him looking at the iPad, and then you do a little swipe, and it's got like a whole little kill list.
Oh, it does? Okay, I want to see that.
Yeah, I gotta find. Next time I see it, I will tag you.
Okay.
I'll just shoot it to your DM or whatever.
But you can see his pettiness in the shoes that he puts out and the colorways that he puts out. Like, he put out a Suns 8. He beat them in the 8s. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. And what was other? I mean,
sometimes that has to do with like the people who make the colorways, just trying to draw inspiration and stuff like that.
But
like, I do shit like that. I make a UNC Kyrie too, just because I love fucking colorway, and then I call it a rivals pack, right? So,
but I'm sure that like if he's got some say in it, he was just like, yo, let's do one of these like this. And then, I mean, because he's hit every team except for the Jazz. Oh, he did Seattle before he beat Seattle, so I don't know if that counts.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he brought him back out, so.
See, like the glove. I ain't no problem with the glove. Get out of here.
Yeah, and he had the Knicks were after. That was a colorway after he had beaten the Knicks. So, and he put the apple in that joint too.
Asshole.
I love it, bro.
Lou, man, what'd you think, man? Like, I mean, I know, like, you know, you were more Air Force Ones, but like, you know, did you watch it, and what'd you think? If you did.
So, I'll be honest. It was. I've been so busy, I didn't catch everything, so I didn't. Okay. I think I was only. I want to say just 3 episodes in, and I had to stop. So I'm trying to see if I could get back on it and watch the whole thing. And but from what I've seen so far, I mean, it's great. I mean, I'm 41. I lived that. You know what I'm saying? I've seen them really do it. You know,
right.
You know, all the a lot of those clips I was watching it. You know,
right.
And you know, me being a ball player myself, yeah, it was amazing. You know, at that time, you know, being able to watch that on TV. You know what I'm saying? And now now you get to see the behind the scenes and all of that. So that's cool. But I haven't watched the whole thing, but I will.
Right. Well, I mean, you're originally from New York, so yeah. Like, did you have a problem with I know Ma, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's tough when he's playing against your city. I mean, I didn't care. I was from Cleveland.
What's crazy is that I was never a Knicks fan. Like,
okay.
I gravitated to the Bulls and Michael, of course.
You a Cowboys fan?
Everything. Nah.
Oh, thank God.
So the Giants all day. You know what I mean? So faithful to them. But
All right.
But I mean, I was never a Knicks fan. Never, man. It's and the game changed so much. Back then it was so physical and they let you do certain things.
Right.
And I feel like all that went away, you know what I mean? It's like a bunch of just, they calling everything. These dudes is crying now, and it's the game changed so much, man. They should have just left it physical like that. Because to me, watching it, like, it's not even about a team no more. It's about a player.
Exactly.
I think that they had to protect their investments because, you know what I'm saying, somebody gets seriously hurt. I mean, you saw Kelly Olynyk possibly affect the finals, with an injury, pulling Kevin Love's arm out like that.
I get that. You know what I'm saying? But
I mean, Dennis Rodman and Karl Malone, I don't know how they didn't both get booted for that bullshit. Like, I mean,
But that's my point. So let's go back to Game 4, 2015, LeBron and Draymond. That shit go. Let LeBron get smacked in Game 5, and then you don't got to worry about KD joining the team.
Hey man, we talk about reality here. We ain't talking about shoulda, woulda, coulda.
About reality, motherfucking Karl Malone and Rodman having a wrestling match on the court. They're like, no, we ain't calling that shit. Yeah, I'll figure that out.
That's the reality. It didn't happen. So you know what I'm saying. The right team won. The right team won in both circumstances. But also, I think that back in the day, like
I know the league.
There's a lot of people who, you know what I'm saying. Like, you're from New York, but there's a lot of people from New York that are like, all right, hey, I'm gonna be a New York fan. But like, I think back in the day, like, it was all about the style that you gravitated towards. Like, I gravitated towards like the style of Michael, where you go out to the court and you talking shit and you doing stuff on people. The Cavs were like a soft basketball type team. They passed. It was very fundamental. That's not how we played where I'm from. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't, I didn't connect with that. So when he hit it on Craig Elo, I was like, gotcha, and that's my home team. So, you know what I'm saying? That's just what it was, and I grew up.
For me, like, I didn't really watch basketball like that. I was young, so I was watching whatever.
Young girl, you are.
My siblings were watching. Be quiet. I mean, like, I wasn't into basketball.
Are you in Club 40?
Yeah, she is.
Oh,
yeah.
And you was out of woman's age like that?
Meaning, I was the youngest in my family, so I had to watch what they watched.
I'm inquisitive.
And for me, I like.
Go ahead, keep going.
No, go ahead. No, yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, here you go.
Defend you.
All right, Frank Sinatra. Come on, old blue eyes.
Hey, y'all done? Y'all done?
We done. Kill the show.
Finished?
We done.
Yes, you done.
We done already. It's not
I ain't gonna say no more.
No,
Tell her right
I ain't gonna say
No, go ahead.
No, but I think for me, one of the things that I liked about the Knicks, that they were scrappy.
Right.
Yeah.
That to me, like, even when Spreewell went in there and it was just fights and fight, it was, to me, that just.
And LJ.
I just feel like they didn't have no dogs though. Like, I mean, they had like great player. Like, I just didn't feel like they had that player that just come out there and just take you to work like all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I don't feel like they had
Anthony
that person.
Mason, or you mean like who's
Anthony Mason was not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he couldn't build a team around Anthony Mason.
Oh, you mean build a team? Oh yeah.
Like, he couldn't be
Ewing during the Senate. That was like the era center.
Ewing was good, but he was getting smashed on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, when your man gets smashed on, you don't have that same respect. You see your dad get beat up, you like, Dad.
Well,
I'm gonna call Tom to come over here and get you. You keep talking to Mom.
John Stark tried to shot us out the damn final. One that against Houston.
I'll tell you one thing though. I felt bad for Ewing, man. I wanted that man to go out at least one time, man, with a ring, man.
I fucked that up.
I really felt bad for him because that man played his heart out, man. His heart out.
He could have got one against Akeem, but
he's probably the only one I feel bad.
That's the only one, man. That's the only one.
Hey, I don't care about Barkley. I don't care about Malone.
I like Barkley.
I like Barkley, but I don't feel bad that he ain't getting no.
Nah, I don't either. Sometimes he an a-hole too.
Hey,
but,
listen, man.
Yeah, big time.
That's the argument. A lot of people got some chips in the LeBron era. Ain't nobody win on Mike watch.
You got Scottie Pippen, man. Ask how many champions you would have had without Scotty.
Who was it who said that? Was that Jalen Rose or somebody who made that?
So Jalen said it today. Jalen, man, I don't have enough time to talk about Jalen right now, but
Jalen's a rider.
This motherfucker, bro.
He shouldn't even been in the thing because do we even remember him playing? I mean, I remember him playing for being on the team.
Yeah, Jalen, I got no.
They say he got drunk and was telling stories about the flu game, talking about he was hungover. He's the one I think that initiated the hangover story.
Who was that?
Jalen Rose.
Really?
He said he got drunk at a party and was, saying things about, Jordan and whatever. So, yeah, that's where that came from. If you heard the hangover story.
My question is, how did the pizza spot find out that was MJ's room? I guess we don't know how the pizza was ordered.
I mean, it could have been a nasty ass pizza place, though. You know what I'm saying?
Nah,
you ordered pizza at 2:00.
He said 5 dudes showed up to the spot. 5. So they said, yeah, they were looking around. 5 dudes, like, nah, that ain't no nasty pizza. That's we know it's MJ.
But how you know it's gonna make somebody sick though? Like, would you put you want to put creek water in this?
And she was. I take a slice of pizza and rub it through my ass. You gonna get sick.
Oh, yeah, that's nasty.
I'm just saying. You said how? I mean, there's ways you can do it. And I know you go.
I believe it, Mom.
I ain't say I'm a dude. I'm saying there's ways you know somebody gonna get sick.
Mo, how you ain't sick right now, nigga? You know what you did this weekend. So
You said Mo.
Don't listen to me, man. All right, let's keep it going. It's not a way.
All right, do we want to go to no? All right, let's shut it down.
No,
Not no way. Let's get it cracking. Because we still got a couple more things, Kev. Don't
embarrass.
Close it out.
All right. So who's gonna? No, I'll finish it.
Okay, so we're gonna talk about. All right, we shut it down then. All right, cool.
Yeah.
All right, so first of all, shout out to you, Lou. Appreciate you for coming on and blessing us with your presence and blessing these people and myself with a little bit of that photo editing knowledge. Like he said, hit his DM if you're looking for some, you want to take the class. Shout out to the panel, of course. As always, you guys keep me grounded throughout the week. Marcus, I always crack on you, man, but you were definitely missed. I definitely understand, you taking the seat back, it wasn't the same, but just know that your presence was missed. We love you. Shout out to the chat. Appreciate you guys as always for tuning in. Without you guys, there's no us. And make sure D-Lo combo, #D-Lo combo. Make sure you guys are doing your mashup picks. Next week for the hashtag hero. I don't know if I'm stealing your thunder, Kev. So
no, you're good. You're good.
We want to do a tribute to Diana at the end of the show. So please, my shit's gonna be hurting. We ain't trying to make the shit look perfect, but at the end of the day, we're just trying to, continue her, continue to honor her. Yeah, and it is what it is. So throw on them shoes, throw on them kicks, and just get something out there. And we're gonna run it at the end of next week's show. And with that, I'm gonna kick it over to Nicole.
Thank you, everyone. It was a pleasure, Lou, meeting you. Definitely gonna hit you up for the class. I'm trying to make some improvements, so that's pretty dope to hear. Yeah, and definitely, for D-Lo, I just want to say that she was of representation also of me because I love heels. I'm really girly girl, but I still wear sneakers as well. So definitely gonna be missing her pictures, and even getting to meet her. We used to talk a lot, but yeah. But thank you guys for having me on. Thank you. I think I am gonna change my name to the Blue Eye. Blue Eye. Yeah. The reflection on my glasses. You see the Blue Eye.
All the names we done thrown at you, and you gonna pick that one? The Blue Eye?
I kind of like it.
What about the Brown Eye?
Oh lordy.
But anyway, so yeah, I'm Rican Power Girl. Make sure that you guys follow the shop, Footage Society. We are about to do a sneaker battle after I did the Jimmy Jazz. So this is gonna be really, really dope. So yeah, make sure you follow us and continue to support. And make sure you hit the like button.
And who you kicking it over to now?
I am kicking it to Molly.
Oh,
Here. Suspects, appreciate you kicking it with us for the hour plus. That did go by quick there, Chris. Lou, thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. Dropping gems. As everyone mentioned, be sure to shoot them a follow. Go check out the class. So a lot of people were inquisitive in the chat, so definitely hit them up. Improve the quality of your pics. Can't go wrong, right? No doubt. We as a community, Midsole family, very saddened to hear about the loss of Diana, who was obviously one of the usual suspects, best friend to Marcus, dear friend to the program. Just very, very eye-opening to how precious and how short life is.
Right.
You're not going to hear about it on TV. ESPN's not going to have any special tribute. People aren't going to be lining up in front of the Staples Center. But the impact that she had is just as important. Her family's hurting. We're hurting. Marcus, we know you're hurting. A lot of people in the chat are hurting. So, let that just open your eyes. Take advantage of every opportunity that you have. Every morning that you open your eyes is a blessing, and take full advantage of it.
Well said.
Lou, man, you got anything you want to say going out?
Yeah, you know what? Thanks for having me, man. It's been a while. It's been a long time. Big fan of your show. Big fan of all of you guys. Nicole, it was a pleasure. Thanks for the follow. And man, it was just like Maul said, man. Life is too short. You know what I mean? Appreciate one another. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Leave the petty shit at home, for real. Like, life is too short. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
So really, if you got drama with anybody, squash that shit. If it can't be squashed, and that's fine, leave it alone. But just leave it alone. You know what I mean? And just move on. So, but I appreciate all of y'all for having me. I appreciate it, man. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, bro, man. Definitely thanks for coming on, man. Like, some of the dopest pictures on IG, bar none. But yeah, we are deeply saddened by the loss of D-Lo. I mean, she would have been in here right now.
Right.
She was here. She's been here since the beginning, and her support, she never wavered. She always, she had our back. We've been through some things that, maybe somebody, people would jump off the ship, and she never did. So, she's greatly missed. And just like Lou said, if you are beefing with somebody, life is short. A lot of times it's a misinterpretation, miscommunication, and you don't want to find out how good a person was when they're gone and you missed out on how good that person was, and you could have had a great relationship. So definitely use the hashtag D-Lo combo. We'll go ahead and insert them into the hashtag hero for next week. This week it's all D-Lo. Some of her shots. I wish I could have put them all in there because she started her own style. You see people. When somebody tries to do what you do, that's great. You know what I'm saying? And then the outpouring of love that I saw on Instagram just made me hurt even more, because just like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, she meant a lot to people outside of even us. So, to see that we're all hurting, it is sad. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna read the shout outs here. Also, yesterday was One-Legged Lister's birthday. Happy belated birthday to you, Daniel. A shout out to Dominican Coquille, Jody Rockstar, Unboxed App, Hella Laced, KB Fresh Kicks, 313 Retro Queen, I Am Lars Young, KY Souls, and I think there were some more people. Like I said, tag me in your post if you post a show, so I can make sure I can read your name. But with all that being said, we are gonna go out with D-Lo, and we'll see you guys next week. Take care.
Peace.